Hello world! Welcome back to another picoGym workout exercise video. In this video, we'll be walking through the forensics challenge Phantom Intruder. Let's get into it. A digital ghost has breached my defenses, and my sensitive data has been stolen. Your mission is to uncover how this Phantom Intruder infiltrated my system and retrieve the hidden flag. To solve this challenge, you'll need to analyze the provided PCAT file and track down the attack method. The attacker has cleverly concealed his moves in well-timely manner. Dive into the network traffic, apply the right filters, and show off your forensic prowess and unmask the digital intruder. Find the PCAT file here, network traffic PCAT file, and try to get the flag. So I already have the file downloaded and I have it open here in Wireshark. So let me do that and pull that over here for us. You can see that the file name is called mynetworktraffic.pcat. And if we scroll down the packets here, it's not a very large packet capture. There's only 22 packets here. You can see that over here, there's what looks to be some base64 snippets. Now, where there's base64, those can be decoded. So we're going to try to pull all these base64 strings out of this file via T-Shark. But in order to do that, we need to know what filter to apply. So if we select one of the base64 strings, you're going to see that there is a black part highlighted right here, which says retransmitted TCP segment data. But there's also TCP payload. You can use one or the other. It doesn't matter. You'll get the same result regardless. So we're going to do TCP payload because it sounds nicer. And we're going to apply that as a filter. That way we can actually get the name of what that filter is. Now that's what we're going to be parsing out in T-Shark. So let me open up my terminal right here. And we're going to run T-Shark TAC-R. And we're going to pass in the file name. We're already navigated into the challenge directory where I have it saved in. And then we're going to do TAC-T fields, which is basically saying, hey, I want to split up this file by fields. In other words, tcp.payload. And then we need to specify the field that we want to actually split it up by, which would be tcp.payload. If you press enter, you're going to get hexadecimal here, and that's fine. These hexadecimal values are going to represent the hex encoded versions of these base64 strings. And you can decode those to confirm that. However, we're going to do that anyways because we need to decode those base64 strings for this challenge. So we're going to copy this and we're going to bring it over to CyberChef. We're going to paste that in. And then we're going to do something first before we actually decode the hex and then the base64. We're going to look for fork. And what that's going to do is it's going to split our input up by a new line, or whatever the split delimiter we want is. That way, whatever we want next, it's going to run that operation on each of the lines rather than on the whole text. That's why you need fork. Because if you go back and you look at our Wireshark file, you can see that these are potentially out of order. But regardless, it does appear that something is out of order here due to this packet saying that there's literally illegal segments. So in other words, out of order TCP packets. So let's minimize that. And now we're going to do our from hex. So we'll type in hex here. From hex. As you can see, it decoded each line individually. Then we can just do from base64. And you get a lot of what looks like jargon. However, there is some plain text interleaved here and there in between all the bogus data. As suspected, as we pointed out in the Wireshark file, this does appear that all these packets were out of order. And there might be a way to order them. I couldn't really figure it out, to be honest with you. I was looking for like sequence numbers and stuff, and I just said, screw it, whatever. I'm sure there's a way, but honestly, these strings are significantly long enough to where you can actually figure out and recompose the flag itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up a notepad document, and we're going to bring that over here, and this over here. And then we're going to grab all the fully plain text strings from this file. So we'll grab these, and we'll grab this, and this, of course. It's pretty obvious to tell that these are the strings that comprise our flag, as you can see by the inherent flag format. Is that all of them? Nope, I missed this one right here. Okay, now we can kind of put them together and recraft our flag. Obviously, we know picoCTF is the beginning part of our flag, so we'll just bring that down here. Open curly brace is the next character after, the F in picoCTF. So we'll put that there. Now we got to look at the English here. It was, and then we look at the other plain text English here and see what can possibly follow that. So we have it was, and then there could be easy underscore or nt that. I'm going to go on a limb and say it wasn't, like that. It wasn't. And then obviously the next one has to be an underscore because that's the full word. So it wasn't that easy. And then obviously this is the last full kind of English flag string that we can put there. It wasn't that easy, TBH4R. And then of course we have our random string here so that it uniquely identifies our challenge in particular. And then of course the closing curly brace. So not that hard to figure out, even though they were unordered, but that should be our flag. It wasn't that easy, TBH4. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But we'll copy that, paste it in, and submit. All right, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel to show your support. Turn on post notifications to get regular injections of cyber content directly into your feed. Check out our Patreon, join our Discord, and follow us on Twitter. Links in the description box down below. And leave any feedback or questions in the comments section down below. This is 1ntrud3r. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, world.